In today's video, I'm going to tell you about the 5 places that I think are the most up and coming neighborhoods in all of Virginia Beach through Hampton Roads, and we're starting right now. Hey, my name is Sam Santalone and I'm a real estate agent in the Hampton Roads area, going from Virginia Beach through Williamsburg, and I do videos every week about living and moving to the area. So a lot of times I talk about top neighborhoods in the area, the best ones, my favorites. But this week I'm going to talk about 5 that I think are up and coming, that have a lot of growth coming and planned, so where the houses might be priced cheaper now, but over time you'll see values go up, and these might be much more desirable areas as we move into the next several years. So we'll have different neighborhoods in different cities so you can get a whole wide perspective. So the first one we're going to talk about is a new construction neighborhood that I think if you want new construction, this is bang for buck, some of the best for size of house and location anywhere in Hampton Roads. It's Jollif Landing in Western Branch. If you look on the map, so we have Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and Chesapeake. Chesapeake is a large horseshoe that's all around the southern side of the south side of Hampton Roads. Well, on the western side, there's what's called Western Branch. And on the western side of Western Branch, right on the very edge, there's an area just past this Lowe's here, this area here, Jollif Landing. And ironically, it's right across the street from the new Amazon distribution center. Western Branch has a lot of suburbs and some shopping, and an area that I like a lot, Chesapeake Square, which is like the most central spot in anywhere in all of Western Branch and part of Suffolk as well. Well, just away from that, off the main road, Portsmouth Boulevard, just literally like 3 or 4 minutes, you'll see this neighborhood called Jollif Landing. And you turn off of Portsmouth Boulevard and it's a bunch of new construction. It's all in the back, this whole big area back in here. These are all new houses, and it's massive. Dozens of houses going under contract and being built as we speak, anywhere from the upper 400s and the lower $600,000 price range. But these are like 2,200 square feet to like 3,000, 3,200 square feet. But for the price, for location, one of the desirable school districts in Chesapeake, Western Branch High School, you're in that school district right on the line. You're close to Suffolk, close to Chesapeake, close to 664, which takes you up towards the peninsula, and also into the rest of the south side of Hampton Roads as well. This area for new construction, I love this neighborhood a lot. This one has an area that's close to it that was developed in the 80s and the 90s, like Chesapeake Square has. But as you go into Suffolk just west, you'll see a lot of farmland, a lot of open space that is, again, over time going to be developed as we get into the next 5, 10 plus years. And so this area close to other spots in Suffolk north, like Harborview, near Shoulders Hill and Route 17, Bridge Road. This whole area was developed in the 90s, 2000s, and even new construction still. So you're close to other new construction, but this area specifically, because it has new construction, single family detached houses, for the size, all things considered, one of my favorites anywhere in Virginia Beach, all through Hampton Roads. And I would say, if anything, the drawback here is that the sizes of the lots aren't as big. And that's one of the reasons why you can get the houses a little bit cheaper. So balance for house size, lot size is still my favorite anywhere in this area of Hampton Roads. Now, that goes over to the next neighborhood that I think is really underrated. No one I know talks about this neighborhood, which is called Phoebus. Phoebus is in Hampton, the central southeastern corner of Hampton, right across the road, across through the tunnel, across to Hampton. The very first exit, you'll turn into Phoebus. Phoebus is right along the water as well, which is pretty cool because it has a little small bit of waterfront access that we'll talk about in a minute. It's close to a base that has been closed down. It's going to be repurposed, called Fort Monroe. But the area is right in this little section, right just off of 64, and it's got an old style feel to it. Like Mellon Street is like the downtown spot, like the main street of Phoebus. But it's got like the streets, the parking on the side, like the shops, the restaurants. What I like a lot is called Fuller's Raw Bar, which is right on Mellon Street also, and several other spots I think are great. In Phoebus, you can get houses in the upper 100s and low 200s, for example, up into the 3s and sometimes even close into the 4s as well. But for the most part, upper 100s to low mid 300s, you can get a house in Phoebus. There's a brewery in here, you're close to shopping, and you're also close to the interstate and close to the tunnel. So a couple things I want to mention about this area that I think will feed the growth. Number one is it's very close to the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, which is a negative on one hand, but on the positive, the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel is going to be doubled in size in about the next 3 years. So the problem has been that the 64 tunnel, the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, backs up randomly all the time, and it can take you anywhere from 10, 30 minutes, an hour plus more than expected to get across this tunnel. This tunnel is going to double in size in about 3 years. Well, that new tunnel is going to fix that problem. I think that the gap between the prices of Hampton and Newport News and the gap of prices between Norfolk and Chesapeake and Virginia Beach are going to narrow, so that more people might find themselves being willing to drive to Hampton and Newport News and still commute to Virginia Beach in that area. So a place like Phoebus that has the houses that are kind of in demand, the spots, the walkable restaurants, this spot could be very primed for great growth as that tunnel expands, and values can really shoot up from there. And in addition to that, the city has a whole master plan for Phoebus, including new residential areas, as well as a new public waterfront area as well. So there's a whole bunch of that, and I'll drop a link below about the master plan development so you can get more information about what's going on and what's going to be happening in Phoebus. But I love Phoebus, and as well as, in addition to that, it's close to Buckrow Beach, which is just northeast of there as well. So you're close to beach access. I think this spot in Phoebus is very ripe for some quick growth over the next few years. That leads us to the next one, actually going right across the water, crossing 64 over to the 6 mile plus beachfront area called Ocean View. Now Ocean View is again a long stretch of beachfront, but to me, I think it's the cheapest beachfront anywhere in the south side section of Hampton Roads, because Virginia Beach is pretty expensive when you get close to the beach. But on Ocean View, you can get some affordable property close to the beach. First of all, you've got several parks that are on the beach. Ocean View Beach, you can get over near East Beach, that area over there, as well as several parks, Community Beach Park, Ocean View Beach Park, Sarah Constant, then the pier just north of that as well as Willoughby Spit, which is on the northern section. This whole area is lined with beachfront, and there are a lot of newer houses on the beach and a bunch of older houses along the beach. In addition to that, going across Ocean View Avenue, go across there, you'll find more streets that have a bunch of older houses, a bunch of random houses, new houses, old houses, a big mixture. And part of that is what creates the value. You'll see houses in Ocean View anywhere from like the $350,000, $400,000 price range, and it goes up to $5 to $6 to $8 to $1 million to $2+ million, depending on how big the house is and the condition and location of the house. You can even see too, going to the east side, East Beach, this whole area here has been redeveloped in the last under 15 years. And a bunch of restaurants are on this side near Shore Drive. Got Cover Brewing Company, which I like a lot. A builder called EDC has built this whole development called The Turn, which is awesome houses right near Shore Drive. You can walk to the beach across the street from that neighborhood. More condos are being built as you go further south. So this whole section on the east is it's happening, and things are changing as we speak. But as you go across in the middle of Ocean View, you'll still see a bunch of older houses mixed with newer houses, mixed with old hotels. It's a bunch of new and old mishmash. And that's where again the value can come into play, and you can get some good value and some appreciation there. Drawbacks here, one of the big ones is the flooding concerns off of Little Creek. So you've got, depending on where the wind blows and where your house is and where the location of the house is and elevation, there can be some issues with flooding as you come off of Little Creek and some of these bay streets. A lot of nice new stuff around here, as well as a golf course, Ocean View Golf Course, which is just south of a neighborhood called Pinewell, which is another in-demand neighborhood right off of Ocean View that you can walk to the beach from as well. And then you're close to Norfolk Navy Base, which is just west of here, as well as to the east, which is Little Creek Amphibious Base as well. So both of those bases bookend Ocean View. And you're also getting close to the tunnel going the other direction. So if you do happen to be stationed at Langley Air Force Base, or even up towards Fort Eustis, and you want to live in Norfolk and be accessible closer to downtown Norfolk, for example, or Virginia Beach, you can still live in a place like Ocean View, get onto Ocean View Avenue, or getting close to 64 and get close to the tunnel, and then have access to the other side of Hampton Roads. However, again, keep in mind, traffic can back up. As of now, it's still going to be a pretty significant issue to me. I think until that tunnel gets expanded, you'll still see this issue. It might get worse until it gets better, until it gets redeveloped. But in general, just know that you can get a great value to be close to beach in the south side in Ocean View, and I think this area is going to continue to grow as people get more properties that they can renovate, lots that they can build new houses on, which are still happening. Now staying in Norfolk but going southwest into the corner of Norfolk is another area close to Old Dominion University and some nice neighborhoods up in the north side near Larchmont called Lambert's Point. This one's unique because you've got, again, Old Dominion, which is right there, great for rental property. Powhatan Avenue takes you up towards Larchmont and Edgewater, which is a very relaxed, nice neighborhood, lots of trees, relaxed neighborhood close to Hampton Boulevard. And also you're pretty close to Ghent and West Ghent, which is just south of here. Now, Lambert's Point, first of all, it's got some older houses in here and the prices are cheap. At Lambert's Point, you can get houses still in the 200s sometimes, but you're still now creeping into the 3s and now 400s price range, and then some new construction randomly in there as well. But for the price, location, this is one of the more affordable spots for what you're going to get. And one of the benefits to this spot is it's close to a spot that has a whole new development being built called the Rail Yard, which is a mixed-use area, restaurants, offices, a commercial area that right now is in a spot that has a lot of older, like it almost feels like the buildings are like totally vacant, but they're going to be redeveloped. It was put on pause over the last couple years for obvious reasons, but it started to get more traction again, and we're going to see this getting completed relatively soon. And once that happens, there will be more demand to be in the section in Lambert's Point, in which I think will increase and make the houses in Lambert's Point more of a demand, especially because of what's already there, close to Old Dominion and close to Larchmont, Edgewater, close to Ghent, close to the restaurants down there in Ghent, which is one of the most in-demand spots in all of Norfolk. So you're kind of bookended between all that stuff, which is one of the things I look for when I'm trying to find a good value is what's around there, what's already in demand that's close to there, and if there is a lot in demand, why is this area still cheaper? And I think that this area with the rail yard being put there, I think it's going to bring some more appreciation into Lambert's Point. One of the drawbacks is it is close to the Norfolk Southern Lambert's Point coal yard, which I think is kind of a drawback. It's not aesthetically pleasing, has a lot of industry right there, but again, it's one of the drawbacks to me of being in this corner, but again, that's where part of the value can come into play. Now the next neighborhood, we're going to shift our attention over to Virginia Beach itself. Close to the beach is an area called Beachboro, which is close to the water, but specifically the southern part of Beachboro. We're talking specifically about the southern part because it's just far enough away from the beach to where it's a little bit cheaper and not always as much in demand. But the reason why I like this section a lot is because of not just where it is in relation to the beach, but also since it's so close to the 17th Street area near the Vibe District. This area is prime for price increase, and it already has. So you're just south of an area called the Vibe District, which has a lot of restaurants, walkable near a place called Commune, this whole section, Mary's Kitchen, Hearth, some real good restaurants in here, all within close, like few blocks from each other. Lolly's, one of my favorite ice cream places anywhere in the area. And again, you're walking distance to these places if you're in Beachboro, which is just in the southern part right here. And you're close to another neighborhood called Shadow Lawn, which is further south of here. So again, bookended is this whole section right here. Now you'll see some older single family houses. You can get an attached house in like the 4s, mid 4s right now, in the 5s and 6s. And again, houses can go up in price in this area, over 6, 7. I've seen it as high as like the low 9s in single family houses in Beachboro. But in general, anywhere from 450 to 7s and change, more duplexes or converted townhouses that were duplexes. And B, also either walking distance to the restaurants or a longer walk to the beach, but you can still also get access to the beach without having to necessarily go all the way to the beach and park. This is one of the reasons partly as to why it's a little bit cheaper as well, because it's just far enough away from the beach to where it's not super simple to get there, but you can get there if you want to. But I do think that because you're close to the beach and, you know, real estate close to beaches is just hard to find and it doesn't grow on trees, and so to find the cheapest beach access points and have close access to restaurants, shops, bars, and also the beach makes the area very ripe for growth, I think, over the next several years, and Beachboro checks all of those boxes. Now, if you have more questions about living in Virginia Beach or other parts of Hampton Roads, I did other videos you can watch here. You can also subscribe to my channel as well to learn more, and I help people all the time relocate to the area. So if you have any more questions about relocating here or just questions about the area, please reach out to me. I have my contact information, email, phone, text. You can ask anytime and I'll do whatever I can to help you relocate to the area. And I will see you on the next video.